Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Wakhidatus Sofiana, and I'm a student of English Literature third semester from UNISSULA. In this video, I would like to explain a little bit about writing and deconstruction on grammatology by Derrida. First, I would like to explain a little bit about short profile. Jaques Derrida is a philosopher from Algeria. He was born in 1930 and he was died in 2004. Derrida have written a book called Of Grammatology. In his book entitled Of Grammatology, Derrida conveys his views on social thought on the definition of language. Of Grammatology in 1967 is an examination of the relation between speech and writing on the ways in which speech and writing develop as form of language. Grammatology is a method of investigating the origin of the language that enables our concept of writing to become as comprehensive as our concept of speech. So what is the deconstruction itself? Deconstruction is a theory about language and literature in large part as a reaction to the primacy of French structuralism and repressive academic and intellectual system that rigidly administered a unique and definitive interpretation of literary texts. Deconstruction as an ethnical philosophy can be said as a way to dismantle the structuralism mindset. In this theory, Derrida would like to reject 3 points of structuralism. The first is ecocentrism, that assuming that the nature of meaning of interpretation is absolute. The second is phonocentrism, that speech is closer than writing to the third or locus of meaning and representation. And the third is metaphysics of presence, that assuming that concept or theory will be justified if it represents being. So the first is logocentrism. Deconstruction is defined denial of logos. Logocentrism assumes that stable meanings of concept are available to us. Logocentrism assumes that the former is the source or center of third, while the latter is the third, and it's always marginal when compared to the initial concept. The logocentrism tradition emphasized the tendency of binary and hierarchical thinking. But for Derrida, language, structure, and meaning are unstable. Meaning is never finished and meaning is never complete. That was what Derrida said. So the second is phonocentrism. The tendency to consider writing as an expression of speech has led to the assumption that speech is closer than writing to the third or locus of meaning and representation. The voice, it was thought, has immediate proximity to the mind. So if the spoken word directly reflects the mind and culture of the person, it is closer to the third. But Derrida repeat his previous arguments that Aristotle maintained that spoken words are symbols of mental experience and written words are symbols of spoken words. And the last is metaphysics of preference. Metaphysics of preference explain that the concept of theory will be justified if it represents being. Something that is can be represented by words and signs, but Derrida has a rejection of this view. According to him, words, signs, and concepts are not realities that present there, but only in the form of trace. For him, something that is something that is plural and unstructured and unsystematic, so that it cannot suddenly be justified through a single word, sign, and concept. I will give a little example. When we examine the legend of Maling Kundang, the main focus is the teaching of the consequences if a child disobeys his parents. However, if we examine this fairy tale using a deconstructive theory, we will look for other perspectives, such as the reason why, when Maling Kundang was an adult, why he turned into a disobedient child like this. So we're going to the conclusion, the construction on grammatology. Derrida insists that the construction is not a method, technique, or species of critique. According to Derrida, the construction is a useful means of saying new things about the text. The second is most characteristic construction is its notion of textuality, a view of language as it exists not only in the books, but in speech, in history, and in culture, especially the written language. And also, Derrida argues that language development actually occurs through the interaction between speech and writing. And because of this interaction, both speech and writing cannot be properly described as being more important for language development. And the last is Derrida's, Derrida's conduct, construction. Derrida's construction can certainly be a way to support the plurality of thoughts and attitudes in various fields of life. So this is my video in this time. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.